All right, welcome back to our series of beer reviews. It's been a little while since we've done one, and tonight we have a very special Belgian brew, Orval, Trappist Ale. Seen it around many times. I don't believe I've ever had this beer. I may have and just not remembered it, but I see it everywhere. It's always in the back of my mind going, maybe not. I don't know. This time I actually picked up a bottle. 6.2% alcohol by volume, Belgian Pale Ale. We're going to serve it in this tulip glass. Again, still don't have a Trappist glass because of laziness, basically. And this gets a very high score. 94 on Beer Advocate, 99 on Rate Beer. Now, I say 6.2%, but there's a lot of conflicting reports out there. They say they bottle it, according to I believe the website, they say they bottle it at 5.8% and it matures, so it can be as high as 7.2, something like that. It's really just convoluted jargon about the ABV of this beer. So it's, at the very least, I think 6.2%, I think. Or I guess it would be at the very least 5.8%, right? However, I believe this was bottled in 2013. Yeah, bottled September 18th, 2013. So maybe it went up there a little bit more in the time that it had to kind of just sit there and linger. Anyway, the brewery makes only one beer for the general public, and it's this one. They do make a beer called Petit Orval, only for the Trappist monks in the monastery, which, if you're able to get your hand on that, you might have something rather valuable, because it's brewed only for monks. And they might be, the monastery might look and say, hey, what the heck do you have that beer for? One of these monks is a mole. But I don't know. Anyway, it's, that one's only like 3.8% ABV, I believe, something like that. Evidence of brewing at the monastery dates back to the 1600s. And they open their doors to the public 2 days a year. That's it. So if you want to get a tour of the Orval Brewery, you only have 2 days a year to possibly do so. I mentioned this beer is bottled at 5.2% actually is what I have written down. I can't go up to 7.2. Complex and unusual flavor and aroma produced by the strain of yeast Brettanomyces lambica, something like that. And it's just this is a very, very uniquely shaped bottle for a beer, almost like a bowling ball shape. As you can see, just a completely different shape than any other beer that I've ever seen. That said, the label is just very simplistic. It just has its logo, Orval. There's nothing going on as far as any extra stories or anything. But it's just basically its own thing. 11.2 ounces, which is kind of the going rate for the European beers. They do 11.2 ounces. We do 12 because we're American, right? But we're going to pour it into this tulip glass. And wow, what a head on this beer, I'll tell you that. That is a surprise. Yeah, the head on this beer is, woo, incredible. I hardly got anything in the glass. The head is going so nuts right now. From what I can see of the base of this, getting a very orangey, citrusy kind of look to it. And the head is just incredible. I tried pouring to the side, I thought, but I was not expecting the beer to take on a life of its own the way it's taken on a life of its own right now. So let's get the aroma now of Orval Trappist Ale. Yeah, I'm getting that wonderful, light, airy kind of aroma. That peppery, gingery kind of smell that you usually get from your Belgian Pales. It's a very wonderful smelling beer. God, I love Belgian beer. It's really an amazing, just desserty kind of, just totally full kind of smell. So it's a great smell to the Orval Trappist Ale. Let's get the taste now, and I might have a bit of a beer mustache, but hang with me. Okay, definitely a high carbonation on this beer. really high carbonation. Which kind of the head on it kind of tipped me off too. I'm not getting that full taste that I usually can get from a beer like this, and I'm getting a little bit of a bitter aftertaste in the back of the tongue. Whereas a beer like Don de Dieu, which is a Belgian strong, getting a little more of a full kind of clove kind of ester from that rather than this. This kind of just dies, I think. Starts out strong, like it's gonna be really flavorful, and then at the back it just kind of dies. It just kind of dies and just kind of turns a little harsh. So I don't know what to say about this beer, other than it's probably not my favorite of this style. It's good, and I'm just gonna kind of leave it at that. That it's good, but not along the lines of some of the other Belgian pales that I have had. So with that said, I'm going to have to give Orval Trappist Ale a 6.5 out of 10. I know that's kind of low for, comparatively for 94 on Beer Advocate and a 99 on Rate Beer, especially Rate Beer. But I think it's a little too carbonated, and just it really gets bitter at the back of the tongue for me, which I don't believe a Belgian Pale Ale should. I think it should be a little more fruity and just not quite the bittering effect that this beer had. So those are my reasons. 6.5 out of 10, though, for Orval Trappist Ale.